morning. I'm going to ask everyone to please fill in and take your seats. Please fill in.
We're doing okay in the back? I can see Greg, so Greg. So it's great to be here this morning on this beautiful sunny day here in the Songus lobby at UMass Lowell. We're very proud about the announcement that's going to be happening shortly. But before we get started, let me acknowledge a few of the folks that are in the crowd today. We have our state legislative representatives, Vanessa Howard, Rodney Elliott here, representative. And also from the Lake State Senator Ed Kennedy's office, representing the office, James Ostis. Thank you. We're also proud to have some of our city councilors here, Vesna Yuan and Eric Gitcher. And those of you who don't know Eric should know that he's a huge baseball fan because his son is involved in baseball actively. So it's great to have you here. We also have federal representatives from Congresswoman Lori Trahan's office, Maria Sionanis. Where's Maria? Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. And of course, I don't know if I can say the best for last, but I can say it on this. From the Board of Trustees, our trustee that is a great supporter of Lowell, Mary Burns. So thank you for all being here today. I think for those of you who were able to join us a little over 3 months ago over at LaLasha Park, it was a little different temperature out there that day, right? Our poor mascots, we were worried they were going to keel over from the heat, but it was an exciting time in terms of announcing that the Futures Collegiate Baseball League was going to be here at LaLasha Park. Here we are, 3.5 months later, and we're going to have a great announcement today in terms of the partnership that is going forward with the Futures League. I think it's also good to note that we have not stood still over the last 3.5 months, and there's been a lot of great announcements in terms of partnerships that we have as part of the Lowell Innovation Network Corridor, or the LINC. So everything from the state pitching in $25 million for Draper in terms of a new building that's going to be built in the city, in terms of SAIC and their partnership with us on cybersecurity, in terms of National Grid and Weston and Sampson, and companies that are coming to Lowell. They're coming to Lowell because they want to be part of this community. And when we talk about Lowell and the greater Lowell, greater Merrimack Valley, north of Boston, when we talk about it, we talk about a place where we want people who are going to be here because it is an awesome place to, as we say, live, work, learn, and play. And the play part is important because the play part is what builds that community of young and old together. And we're excited that LaLasha Park is once again going to be the home of a summer baseball league that provides opportunities for families, for young people, for retired folks to all come together and be part of this community and to enjoy that kind of entertainment that brings us all together. So it's an exciting time right now in terms of the community, in terms of the link. I also encourage you, right, that this is the play part. Here at UMass Lowell, we have an outstanding Division I athletic program, so our baseball team will benefit from interacting with the Futures League, and also we have professional women's hockey that's starting on Sunday right here in the Songus Center. We have our Division I Riverhawk hockey team. Hopefully you've all made it to a game, and it's women's and men's basketball. So this is all about community, an opportunity for all of us to have those times together outside of work, to come together and to get to know each other even better than we already are as this wonderful Greater Lowell, North of Boston community. We're very proud that, and you're going to hear from them in a minute, we're very proud that the team that is coming to LaLasha Park is led by local folks, people who know this community, who are part of this community, and frankly have been interesting part of companies that have had other connections with UMass Lowell. Maycom, Python Technologies, these are all many ways that everybody is integrated and intertwined, and so we're very happy to welcome this new partnership to Lowell that you're going to hear about in a minute. So thank you all for being here today. It is my great pleasure to hand over the mic to somebody who is a partner unparalleled and is key to everything that we've been able to do here as part of Link for the region and for the community. Without further ado, City Manager Tom Golden.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. This is an exciting day. It's the bottom of the ninth. Mark DeShanes is on the mound, as he has been so many times, and he delivers the win with his dear friend John. And let's put our hands together for these two fine gentlemen that make it happen right here in the city of Lowell. But that being said, today is a day of excitement. Today is a day of foundation building. Today is a day that we, the city of Lowell, continue to build upon what we have. Yes, it was sad, a sad, sad day when the Spinners had to close down. But with leaders in this community that never said no, never said stop, continued to move forward. Leaders like our Congresswoman, who worked so hard to get additional monies for our university, to make sure that our university could continue to thrive. Leaders here in the city of Lowell, like two of the councilors that are here, that ensured that when the city was in need to try to put some a refresh, a rebrand on the LaLasha Ballpark, our partners, Marty Meehan, Julie Chen, were there to assist the city. And the city is going to continue to be here for all of our partners. Building upon that concrete foundation, as these two gentlemen know all about. You cannot build anything without a strong foundation, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is an extremely strong foundation. We have all the political support we could possibly need, once again from our Congresswoman, from our state delegation, and from our city council and this city administration. I am so excited to be here because this does exactly what we've always been looking to do. We are continuing to move Lowell in the direction that it deserves to go. It deserves to go because people are here today. People took time out of their day to be here. The business community, just people that live down the street, city officials, state officials, federal officials. Everyone is here to watch what is going to happen in Lowell next. What is going to happen in Lowell next? Success. Why success? Because of partnerships. Why success? Because of teammates. And when you have teammates that we have, there is nothing that else can slow us down, can stop us. When you talk about Link, when you talk about everything that's happening in this city, it's because we're always extending the right hand of friendship. We're always part of the same team. We're always rowing in the same direction to ensure that the city of Lowell is as successful as it can be. So without further ado, I have another person, another teammate to introduce. Somebody that has been, quite frankly, I think around longer than me. I've been around for 31 years. It's a long, long time. But ladies and gentlemen, the president of the University of Massachusetts at Lowell, Marty Meehan.
Thank you very much. That's not it. Yeah, I have been around a long time. But one of the reasons why I'm delighted to be here today, first of all, I want to thank Julie Chen. She is an extraordinary leader for UMass Lowell. She's been doing this a long time. I first met Julie when I was in Congress and she was working on research here at the university. And everything she does well. And she's an outstanding leader, so I want to thank Julie Chen for everything. city and the university have always had a great partnership. It's the reason why the Tsongas Arena got built, because the university and the city had a partnership, and it's how the Lasher Park got built. But I have to say, I can't recall any time in our history, that is the history of the university and the city, where there was a better person in terms of being city manager, in terms of being cooperative than Tom. Maybe it's because Tom has 2 degrees from the university. But I want to thank you, Tom, for your outstanding leadership and for the partnership with the university to make things like this happen. So thank you very much, Tom Golden, for your outstanding. So baseball is back. I guess John's going to make the announcement. By the way, Mark looks like he could play shortstop for the Riverhawks right now, and probably could use him back here. But I want to say that John and Mark have great relations with the city. They understand the city, and that's really important. They know what this means to all of us, to all of you, and the greater community at large. There are a lot of people in this room that worked hard to bring the Spinners to Lowell, to build the ballpark that was built, and to build this arena. Lowell has had a history of partnership and doing things well, where it isn't necessarily about who gets the credit, it's more about getting things done. And baseball is back. And baseball is so important to our community. I remember in my own life what baseball meant to me. Both my boys, I think the manager is a former coach at Andover, I think. All right. But my boys both played at Croton, so.
I remember meeting him in my office.
Yes. Andover always beat Croton. But we have 2 folks that really understand the city, know what it's about, and I think that's just going to make this even more successful. It's incumbent upon all of us to make sure we sell season tickets, we get people into the ballpark. That's part of what a community venture like this is all about. So I think all of us have a responsibility and a commitment we need to make sure baseball is successful. I love the partnership with having the Futures League here and the UMass Lowell Riverhawks here. I think that the synergy between both teams will be great for Lowell, great for the university, and great for all of us, frankly. So I'm delighted to be here. I want to thank everyone for all the hard work that was done. I do want to acknowledge, I don't think he's here, but Brian Martin, who was the city manager when we built the ballpark, and I want to acknowledge him because he has been so committed to this from day one. I can't tell you how many hours I've been on the phone on this, but I want to acknowledge it. Finally, I want to say that we as a community need to work together. We need some money to put into this ballpark. And there was some money that was around the House of Representatives, and it didn't make it through all the way. But I think that there's probably a couple of people here, one way or the other, that could help us with this. But we need a commitment. We need a commitment to make some investment in the ballpark. The university can't do it on its own, and the new franchise can't do it on its own. This is a community asset, and we need to invest in it in the community. Once you get, Tom, as old as I am, you can say whatever you want to say when you get out. But I do think that's fundamentally important. I want to introduce John Proto and just say how pleased we are that you guys are here, that you guys are going to partner with us. And I want to say, John, you know the city through your experience at Maycom, but we're going to work with you. We're going to do everything we can to roll up our sleeves and make sure we get people in that ballpark so that the Lasher Park realizes its potential that Paul Tsongas and everyone else who was involved in it had right from the beginning.
The franchise, and then we have a number of limited partners, many of whom are actually here today. Too many to list to go through. But let me introduce. Actually, Mark, do you want to speak about yourself first?
Sure. Thanks, John, and thank you all for the wonderful welcome. It's a fantastic crowd here today, so thank you for all your support. There's been a big buzz regarding this since the start, so can't thank you enough. A lot of familiar faces in the crowd as well. So my name is Mark DeShanes, general partner with John Croto. John and I met quite some time back when John was at Maycom, and his son Ben played for the junior Spinners back in the day when I partnered with the old Spinners. We have just stayed in touch throughout the years, and he's been a great business partner for me and a really, really amazing friend. So that was after my career was done, but prior to that, I played 13 years of professional baseball, drafted by the Cleveland Indians in 1995, and then went on to play and finish my career years later with the Pawtucket Red Sox. So baseball has always been near and dear to my heart. As Chancellor Chen said, alum of UMass Lowell, so know the inner workings of UMass Lowell and everything that's going on here, and quite different from when I played here. So it's amazing to see all the improvements. And then again, at the end of the day, just stayed true to baseball throughout, and started a youth program that's in the Merrimack Valley, and then went on to take on this endeavor here with the baseball franchise in Lowell. So we're excited to be back. LaLachie Park is near and dear to me. Had a lot of activations over the years there, so we're excited to bring excitement and popularity back to baseball in Lowell.
So Mark is our principal owner and chief baseball officer, so he's going to be running all the baseball operations. I'm the business guy. I'm technically the chairman and CEO. So I just concluded 42 years in the technology industry, and the peak of my career was really at Maycom here locally. I tripled the size of it. We ended up with a $4.5 billion franchise, enterprise value. And just, we're, I think, the largest private employer in Lowell at the time. Built a nice, beautiful building, and then retired. And I just did a 3-year kind of encore in a startup in Boston. So I'm now retired and now back to work, helping Mark with the new franchise. So anyway, did you want to bring up Halsey?
Yeah. So I'd like to introduce one of the founders of the Futures League back in the day, Chris Hall, a near and dear friend of mine as well. Chris and I go way back. Him and his wife, Mary Ann. I grew up in their backyard, and then Chris came along the way, and I've been near and dear to Chris throughout. So I'd like to introduce Chris Hall in the Futures League.
I was playing baseball at Brandeis, and he was at UMass Lowell, and we played against each other down the Cape a little bit, but then found out that my current wife and my father-in-law is best friends with Mark's father, so we've known each other all the way through, and I represented Mark for a little while as his agent back in the day, and that was a lot of fun when we got him. There were a lot of fun stories during that time to get to where we are today. And I will tell you that my relationship with Mark is one of the reasons why when we started the Futures League, it'll be 16 years in December when we announced the Futures League with only 4 teams. And one of the key factors for us as a Futures League is that we're looking for 3 things, right? We're looking for a community that can support it, right? And when we go back to when we started to announce the Futures League, it was in that room was Tim Bowman, John Good, Drew Weber, of course, and a few other folks that were key factors, Chris Carmenucci, who's now with the Diamondbacks, and Dave Hoyt. And we never had this vision of where we are today, and we never thought we could be here playing at LaLachie, the Spinners, who was one of the most, rewarded and recognized franchise in all of minor league baseball. And, it goes back to what our goals were in the Futures League. One, a great community. Greater Lowell is awesome. We love it. I'm here in the Greater Lowell community for 30 years now, over in Chelmsford. And number 2, a facility. Now, the facility is being, one of the best in the area by far. It's one of the best college campuses to play on. And it's one of the best franchises or stadiums in the Futures League. And I know UMass Lowell is putting a lot of work into that. And the third piece, and the most important piece, is having a great ownership group. And you've got everything you can think about here. You've got the business side of it, you've got the baseball side of it, and you've got people who care about this community in the greater city of Greater Lowell area community. And a few people I want to recognize that are here today from the Futures League. Brad Smith, the owner of New Britain. Julie Creedon, one of the owners from Nashua. Camp Cook is also the general manager of Nashua. and then Josh Cummings, who's the assistant commissioner of the Futures League. And I would just, step back. And John Creed, who's unable to be here today, was an instrumental part of making this work with Tom Miliano and Keith Vasky and Chancellor Chen, and obviously President Mean. So, we can't thank the city, we can't thank, the university enough for allowing this to happen with the Futures League. Thank you very much for letting us be part of it. And, thank you very much, everybody. John, good luck.
Of the former Lowell Spinners. He, with Chris, helped found the league. So he's spent the last 10 years actually out in Indianapolis. He's been managing the Indiana Pacers minor league franchise. And he's returning to Lowell. So he's coming back. So when people ask us, are we going to resurrect the whole Spinners experience and so on, the answer is emphatically yes. Because he has all the tribal knowledge, he knows exactly how things were done, and they were spectacular. They sold out 413 straight games, I think it was 8 or 10 years. We're going to do the same. Next. All right.
This is where the fun begins. So it's been a really fun process going out there and vetting our roster, but more importantly,
If minor league baseball was like a college or a university, my position was kind of like the dean of faculty. Having a locker next to Mark McGuire, a little bit intimidating, I must say, but great experience. Another highlight was, I got to manage in AA the Tennessee Smokies, and in 2023 we had a dream season. They hadn't won a championship in AA in 45 years. The manager the last time they won a championship was Tony La Russa. And so we took a team with even a local guy, Matt Shaw from Worcester was our third baseman. I had Pete Crow Armstrong in center field, a bunch of other prospects you may have heard of. And we broke a 45-year drought, and that was quite a highlight for me. The main attraction of professional baseball for me, I had been at Phillips Academy Andover as an admissions dean, as a varsity baseball coach, academic advisor, house counselor in the dormitory. The thing that brought me away from Phillips Academy to professional baseball was, I wonder how they're doing things in pro ball now. Like, you always have these questions, how are they teaching hitting at the highest levels? How are they teaching strength and conditioning, player development? I just wanted the answers to all my questions. And so I was a sponge. I'm super social. I talk to any and everybody. I asked a million questions, observed some really, really good coaches. And that's the exciting thing for me about making this transition to the Futures League is my number one priority is always player development, and that's 1A, and 1B is always relationships. I am not a sage on the stage. I'm a guide by the side. I'm the guy that wants to get to know these kids. I want to get to know their families. I want to get to know how they're doing. How the host family situation is. How are they health-wise? Are they happy with their role? I take time every day to try to just connect with people in different ways, and people have different ways of being connected with, so that's my motivation. And hopefully winning. I got a big fat ring on my right hand right here, so I like to show that off during special occasions. But winning to me is a byproduct of player development. It's a byproduct of creating relationships. You take care of every little thing, and the big things tend to take care of themselves. So that's sort of the motivation for coming here and trying to win a championship. The other draw to this opportunity is quite simply the city of Lowell. I live on campus at Phillips Academy Andover, right down the road. It's a 20-minute drive, super convenient, but also Lowell just has such history. I purposefully arrived here early this morning, took a little walk down the street to the coffee mill, where I met half of the Lowell Police Department. And just soaking up the architecture and the history, it's clear that this is a place with so much history. And raising a family in the area, who of us didn't bring our children to Lowell Spinners games when they were kids? We came to a million games when our kids were little. And to be a part of that, and the resurrection of this franchise, and the energy that's in this room right now, just really, really special, and I'm super, super appreciative. I don't take that lightly. Last thing I'd like to say is that 60 games in two months, a little over 2 months, that's a good commitment. And I'm looking forward to it, but I have a wife and 3 children, so, my wife Tina is a saint. Everywhere I've dragged her, she has come willingly after a little bit of, convincing. We have 3 adult children as well, and we were trading texts in our family text group our kids are kind of spread out all over the country, and everything was like, go daddy, we're so psyched for you, we can't wait to come to games. So that encouragement and that green light from my wife and our amazing kids, Katie, Kyle, and Kelly, that means a lot as well. But the last thing I would say is that I just can't wait to meet you all. I'm going to try to keep it brief, but I'd like to meet as many people as I possibly can afterwards, answer as many questions as I possibly can, and then at the ballpark, sometimes I get in trouble for being too chatty. I should be more focused on the game, but I'm chatting up the popcorn vendor and the on-field between innings, promotions people and the interns. When I managed in Double-A in Tennessee, I made it a point to try to know everybody. And that was a little bit of a contrast between me and the last manager that had come through Double-A. He was all about being underneath the dugout in the bunker with the players and the coaches. I kind of wanted to know everybody. So if you're not out here making friends, like, what are we doing? So thank you very much. I'm super excited to be here, and I'll hand it back to Mark.
The new brand, the new name. But let me frame it first. So one of the things we wanted to do was pay proper homage to me, three key stakeholders. One is the city of Lowell. I can't tell you how humbled we are to be the stewards of the next chapter of baseball in the city of Lowell. 150-year heritage. We have a nice memorabilia table over there, and it's just absolutely stunning. So we're going to pay very close attention to doing the right thing for the city. Second, what a class act university. Absolutely spectacular. Your stewardship of La Mancha Park, the rejuvenation of the city that the university has led is nothing short of stunning, and we're going to be a very proud partner with the university at La Mancha Park. Third, we want to pay proper homage to the Spinners. They were crushing it. They were at the top of the minor league. They were selling out every game, and unfortunately they got caught up in the contraction that occurred 5 years ago. But let me explain what they were and now before describing what we are now. So they were a professional baseball franchise, short season single A affiliated with the Red Sox. It was short season because they basically took the fresh draft picks out of the draft, and those draft picks were basically from everywhere except Lowell, and except the Merrimack Valley. So a lot of international, which is absolutely great. Those draft picks in the Major League Baseball is 70% collegiate players, 30% direct from high school, right? They're young, they're not the older guys and so on. And the other kind of unfortunate thing is Lowell was really a waypoint to go on to Portland, Pawtucket, and then Boston, right? So we got to see great players like Mookie Betts, Jonathan Papelbon, and the whole crew. They proceeded up in their careers, right? And they played in the New York Penn League, which is now defunct. Through the contraction, they basically got squeezed out of business. So anyway, introducing, guys, why don't you come on up? Okay, we can go to the next slide. So the very obvious, the very natural thing to do is to name the team the Spinners. We're going to stick with the sleeveless look, and we added a third alternate, like City Connect uniform, the powder blue. And the guy wearing it is actually the guy who conceived the thought of going with the powder blues. So anyway, let me let Mark talk about future play.
And bring familiar faces there. And the local talent that we have here in the Merrimack Valley and beyond is astronomical with what we can do and where they're playing at their level of college baseball as well. But the Futures League has been around, as Chris said, for many, many years, and similar to a Cape Cod League or an NECBL that you might be familiar with as well. We'll play 62 games, 31 home games at La Mancha Park, which we're extremely excited about. As far as we go with the roster, again, our goal is to bring local talent and local flair into the league. As you can see here, with our uniforms. We're gonna look really good on the field, and the old saying is, if you look good in the field, you play good as well. So we've definitely put some thought and some effort into that for sure. But again, extremely excited to play in the league, and as you heard earlier, many players in this league have gone on to play and have Major League Baseball careers at this current time as well.
Very good. Right, but we decided to create our own mascot, which you can see there. We have not yet named him. I should say LowellSpinners.com is now live and active. You can go online and vote. Not vote, you can actually submit your proposals for what you would like to name the mascot. The other news is we have recovered all of the former Spinners social media channels. So they are now rebranded and live and active as of today on Facebook, Instagram, X, and LinkedIn. So I want to talk about our operating vision because there are some things that are a little bit different that Mark and I are actually quite passionate about. So if you're a student of baseball history, you might have watched the Ken Burns special, the documentary, and you'll know that for the first 50 years of baseball, it was an amateur sport. Kids played sandlot baseball, they came up, they played for their town, their city, their school, and then their company. They played in front of their community, right? That's what baseball was about. And that's our vision for bringing back the Spinners in Lowell, right? So Mark said, you know, the special emphasis on local kids. We're graduating baseball players that are going down playing Power 5 conference baseball and collegiate baseball, and they don't return. This gives them the opportunity to come back, play in front of their friends, family, and their communities here in Lowell, in a minor league environment. So it's a very interesting and compelling opportunity in doing that. Our goal is to make the Spinners the ultimate aspiration for kids in the Merrimack Valley, right? So when you grow up and they go to high school and they say, oh, I want to play college ball, they want to play college ball so they can come back and play in front of their friends and family and stuff. So that's the operating vision for the franchise. It's very different. By the way, it is exactly what the Futures League, what Halsey and Tim Bauman, founded the league to do in the first place. So I personally believe the Founders League business model is better than the New York Penguin. Next slide. Okay, so what's in a name? So everybody, the goodwill that we have, picking up the Spinners is absolutely great. I'll tell you what really makes me proud is it plays to the exact heritage and values of Lowell. We're talking about immigrant working class roots. We're talking about being the pioneers of the American Industrial Revolution. And basically, we view that all of our players are going to go pro. Most of them not in baseball. So they're going to be future educators, business people, captains of industry. And our vision is we want to be developing these kids to be the best they can be in life. It's not purely about the game of baseball, it's about life skills. Next slide. And our human mascot, we're actually modeling it after a real player in baseball history. There was a guy named Napoleon LaJoie, who was born in 1874, a French-Canadian immigrant. By age 10, he was working in the factories. Not yet been made, but we're talking about all the tech that is minor league and major league in nature. So we're upgrading all the technology of the park, and we're making that available to kids, which is a profound opportunity. Very subtle, but very profound. Next slide. Okay, so the second of three operating elements, this is where Mark and I actually get very passionate, obviously with baseball, but to us, baseball is far more than a game. Right? I'll explain why this is so important to people. What struck me, and I mentioned the president's name beforehand, when I was looking at his bio on Wikipedia, he was quoted mentioning that his dad was his youth baseball coach. And we're kind of commiserating earlier about exactly what that meant. Well, his father, my father, our teachers, our coaches, since we're similar age, we're all members of the greatest generation. Civic duty and service was second nature to them, right? You played sports, and specifically baseball, because it presents adversity, and you learn the life skills. discipline, leadership, perseverance, resilience, and so on. So that's what we view baseball as being about. Yes, it's about winning and playing well, putting a great product on the field, but it's so much more than that. And here's the reason why. Next slide. So 1 in 1,000 would be make the New York family, right? That's 0.1%. Those who get drafted, 95% last only about 3 years. 1 in 20 makes it to Major League and stays. So they typically are done at age 25 for minor league. Mark had an unbelievable career, 13 years. But that's not the norm, right? And then the guys who make it to the major leagues, the average retirement age is 30. They have 90% of their adult lives left to live after they play baseball, right? So I personally believe that it's incumbent upon us to make sure that the summers that the Spinners players are with us and that the high school players in Greater Lowell and Merrimack Valley get so much more out of baseball than just baseball. So that's a big element of what we're going to be doing. It's very different. I don't think I've ever heard that before, but from the heart, you'll see. And next slide. So what we're going to be doing, so the people who are fortunate enough to play for the Spinners are going to be mentored by our owners, our ownership group, as well as our leaders, and everybody from active coaches in Major League Baseball. Mark Mazinski is the first base coach for the Toronto Blue Jays. What a class act, right? Tim Bauman, he was managing the Spinners 20 years ago, right? So we're going to mentor these kids to be able to develop their careers while they're still playing baseball. Furthermore, we're going to open that up to the Greater Lowell, Merrimack Valley. On campus, we're going to hold seminars, and basically seminars about how to parlay baseball into business, careers in education, careers, the civic duty side of the opportunities in life. So, we're putting our time and money where our mouth is on this. And to me, that's very important, not just for the players for the Spinners, but all the kids coming up through high school and Greater Lowell. Next slide. Okay, here's the third, and I'll tell you this, I didn't really fully appreciate. Tim Bauman really brought this home. The Spinners absolutely crushed it. The sense of community, it's the reason why they're so beloved in people's hearts, minds, because it wasn't just a baseball game, it was a community gathering. This is what I'm talking about. We're bringing it back full on, 100% what the Spinners did well, modernized, refreshed, a little bit more of the Savannah Bananas type feel, but people are going to come to the games not just for the game, but much more for the family, affordable, family-friendly fun. So that's the third and final element of the vision. Next slide. Yeah, and part of that, I can tell you from the heart, the single most rewarding aspect when I was CEO of MACOM locally here were the community engagements with charities. So whether it's Fitness for a Cure for St. Jude's Research Hospital, or a Merrimack Valley Food Bank, or the Greater Lowell Boys and Girls Club, that's what it's all about. So, the Red Sox have, the Dana-Farber, it's the Chimney Fund. They have the Chimney Fund, we have 3 good charitable entities. Last slide. Oh, so so here's the way to think about the management leadership team. So Mark and I and Tim bring the gray hair. We bring the experience. We want the franchise to be operated by a fresh, young set of leaders. 3 of them are standing right in front of you here right now. And let me do quick introductions for each of them. First one, Ryan Grace, unfortunately couldn't be here. He's doing exams at Babson. He's doing a 5th year playing baseball at Babson. He's going to be helping Mark. He's a Concord, Carlisle resident of Concord by background. He's going to be helping Mark on the baseball operations side. Second one is Charlie Chonka. Charlie, raise your hand. There he is over there. So Charlie was a tall, lanky pitcher at Colby College. I saw him my son's freshman year. He's a native of North Andover. He founded his own baseball media company while he was still in college, called Youth Prospects. He has worked with some of the top prospects in Major League Baseball. Guys like J.J. Weatherholt with the Cardinals, Connor Griffin with the Pirates, Max Clark with the Tigers. He is a professional videographer, and you can expect we are going to be marketing the heck out of our players as if they were pros. Third one, Dowie. Dowie's our local hero. Born and raised, first 9 years of your life in Dominican Republic. Graduated, crushed it playing baseball at Lowell High School Red Raiders. Went on to play Division I baseball at St. Peter's University in New Jersey. And he's currently working for the Youth Services, managing Youth Services in the town of Andover. Dowie's going to be Tim's right-hand man on the operations and sales, operating the franchise. All these guys are going to be developing in place to be able to take the franchise and manage it in the future. Fourth is...
Appreciate your leadership from the city of Lowell, Rich Basketball. You guys have been great to work with. We're excited to move forward with you. We have some of our LPs in the audience too, John and Cal.